Hey guys, Squiggles here, and do I have a treat for you? I found a replay between LiquidTyler, aka Noni, an absolute baller and a member of Team Liquid, quite obviously from his name, versus ONEShield. And ONEShield, I cast a game with him versus Spanishiwa, and it was a really crazy good game. So I know ONEShield is really good, and he's the Terran player at the blue right here. And over here we have LiquidTyler, and I know he is really good as well. He plays in MLGs and all the good tournaments like that. So this should be an absolute treat to behold, and I cannot wait to see what these two players bring to the table today. Now the map is Typhon Peaks, and it looks like ONEShield is going to be throwing down a supply depot as you do, and Noni is going to be Tyler is going to be getting some probes because that's what you do. You get some probes, and then you chrono boost out some probes, and then you get some more probes, and it looks like he's getting even more probes. So he may actually be getting, it looks like a 13 gate. So getting about as economic as you possibly can without, getting a Nexus first. But especially this, I mean, this map is fairly big, but it's not like big like I'm gonna get a Nexus before any of my buildings big. So I think that's the correct move, and we can see there is a barracks going down as well for ONEShield. One thing you'll note on PVTs like this is that they don't really put buildings next to their ramps, because if there's going to be a bust, I mean, they're going to defend it. Terran is going to defend it with bunkers, and Protoss is going to defend it with force fields and stuff. So, I mean, there's no real reason to have buildings there. They just get sniped. We can see that Tyler is going to go ahead and scout after Gateway, and he's going to be scouting before ONEShield, who is scouting right now. So he's scouting about the time that his barracks finishes. Going to be getting a Marine and getting his orbital command right on time. Also has a gas, and it looks like Tyler has a gas as well. So we can see that Noni is actually a bit ahead in supply right now, but I attribute that solely to his chrono boosting of probes, which is pretty standard. It looks like ONEShield going to be adding on the second supply depot, and this supply depot right here is the one that I always forget. So good job, ONEShield, being better than me and not forgetting that supply depot. Good job. And he actually gets it on 16 food. I will make a mental note of that. If I had a notebook like Artosis, I would be writing that down so I don't forget. Looks like Noni is going to be getting Warp Gate. And if I say LiquidTyler or Noni, just know that I mean the same person, but I use them interchangeably. So I apologize in advance for any confusion that there is because of that. But ONEShield is over here, and it looks like he is going to be getting... See, he has enough money for stim. He has enough money for... or gas for, like, anything. So, oh, that probe almost got in. So I'm curious to see what he goes ahead and gets. If he gets slow, or if he gets stim, or if he gets no upgrades at all. So, I mean, I guess he could be going for a factory, but I don't know why he'd be getting gas this early. I really have no idea. We will have to wait and see. I mean, he's getting Marauders, so he doesn't need gas for those, but I would just assume Stim would start because it takes, 3,500 years for it to finish. So, looks like Noni is going to be sending out a probe to check out the Zelmag Watchtower, which is covered by shrubbery, which blocks your line of sight but not your bullets. So, you get half of the good stuff. I mean, he can't see you, but once he does see you, the bullets travel through. So, not gonna be, not as good as a solid wall, but still okay. Okay, looks like ONEShield is going to be throwing down a couple more Raxes, and his expansion command center is almost finished. Meanwhile, it looks like Noni is going to be going for 3-gate. Looks like a 3-gate expand, quite possibly. 3-gate pressure into expand. It looks like he is still a little bit ahead in supply. Not by too much, though, just a little bit. And never mind, he's ahead by a lot because Warp Gates just finished. There are a couple of Marauders in this bunker, and he is getting out more Marauders as well, so he should be able to hold this off. And it looks like Concussive Shell is now being researched, and I kind of think that timing is late, but I don't know. I want to say it's late. And it looks like this SCV is going to come out, and that's a rude awakening. Oh, by the way, there's Protoss units right outside your door. So I'm expecting him to maybe pull a couple SCVs, and here come the SCVs. So they're going to be ready to defend this if he needs to, get them all repairing. And, oh, there's a lot of Marauders, though. Holy crap, and Marauder Slow is done. So I think LiquidTyler is correct to go ahead and pull back. I mean, he does have a lot of sentries and stalkers. So actually what he could do is he could just start force fielding the ramp over and over again, and that would be, oh my gosh, that would be annoying. I think if you have 6 I want to say 6. If you have 6 sentries, you can actually just force field the ramp nonstop for the entire game, which would be quite funny. Meanwhile, it looks like ONEShield is going to go ahead and just continue to saturate his minerals. Looks like he is fully saturated, and he's going to start getting oversaturated, but that's okay because he'll be able to Maynard his extra guys down as soon as he is able to expand. LiquidTyler, meanwhile, has his expansion up, so good job to him. Also adding on a robo facility, so that's good. He's going to be getting out an observer, I expect, and then probably Colossus. That's pretty standard. And it looks like ONEShield is going to be going ahead and getting a starport. And, yep, everything is looking pretty standard, pretty safe, pretty exactly the way it should be. So, yep, going to be moving into a very, very normal mid-game. You can see now that ONEShield has enough units. He feels safe. He's going to go ahead and move out and take his own expansion. And one good thing about building his orbital up here was it didn't get canceled by that pressure, but also he turned it into an orbital, so he has all this energy saved up. I think he's already dropped 1 mule, and he has enough for another mule right now. So if anybody was wondering why people do that, that is in fact why. And it looks like LiquidTyler is going to be getting a lot of gateway units, and these sentries have so much energy, it's kind of insane. So that is going to be a problem whenever their armies meet. And when I say it's a problem, I mean for him, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, because his army is going to get sliced up into little itty-bitty pieces the way, you know, the way you would if you had one pizza and you're splitting it among 20 people and you just slice all the slices really small. That's what his army is going to look like. I realize that was a very convoluted way of saying it, but dang it, that's how I said it. So, okay, looks like Stim is just now finishing. Oh, phew. So he made it to the Stim being done. That's good. That means he's not going to die anytime soon, hopefully. Going to be getting combat shields now right away. Already has Marauder Slow done. And it looks like he has, what is this, 4 barracks now? Yep, so 4 racks and a reactored starport. Going to be getting a few medevacs out. Looks like Protoss is going to be starting level 1 weapons and also has this observer here, so he is going to have a 100% good intel as to what is going on. And this Proby is really paying for himself. Not only has he somehow manufactured a pylon, but he is also hanging out at this Zelnaga, and he's got to feel kind of safe because he does have the shrubbery surrounding himself. He's like in a little cubicle and just chilling with the pylon, so he's got to feel pretty good. Okay, and here comes the attack by ONEShield. Now you can notice that LiquidTyler is ahead by about 5 supply now, and ONEShield is going to do a double-pronged attack, but it looks like LiquidTyler is moving out as well, and so this attack by ONEShield could just be met with, oh goodness gracious, he's going to be like, holy crap. So he's going to turn around with these units, but he's going to keep going with his drop, and he's going to try to do as much damage as he can. But lots of stalkers are warping in, and are they going to be able to just this medevac? 1 medevac down, and all the units are out now, and they are stimming and going to run in and see how many probes they can get. And it looks like he will be able to kill quite a few probes. Holy crap! Doing a good job of focusing on probes and trying to micro back so that he can get the maximum amount of damage done. Good job of taking... Oh, man, some of these sentries are being taken out, and the sentries have tons of energy, so that's actually a big deal that they're all being taken out. Oh, no, looks like he's a little bit of miss micro there, and he's going to end up not killing any more sentries, but killing a couple sentries with almost full energy, so crazy good there. A lot of damage done by ONEShield. You can see that the supplies have somewhat equalized. And let's take a look at the workers lost. You can see... I guess he only killed 4 workers. I was expecting more. So fairly even as far as the workers killed and units killed. But he didn't get behind in the drops. That's always good. And he did force Tyler to go ahead and run back to his base. Great little scouting here. A trick with all the pros do that everybody else should be doing as well. Stim 1 Marine and just send him around scouting everywhere. Much cheaper than scanning. And yeah, it's the cheapest scanning scout you can get. There we go. And it looks like a couple of bunkers are down, and he is spreading his forces pretty evenly, but here comes the push. Good force fields by Tyler going down, and it looks like a lot of damage done. He does have +1 weapons done as well, so he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Looks like 1 bunker is going to go down, and the second bunker is down as well. Tanks are out, but they do not have siege mode, although there is a lot of units still, and they are stimming as well, so it's going to be a lot of marauders versus some stalkers. Siege tank going to be in doing damage as well, and it looks like ONEShield is going to be able to hold this off. And actually, look at the supplies. Wow, it is 94 supply versus 55 supply, and supplies continuing to plummet for LiquidTyler. So down to 53 supply versus the 96 supply from ONEShield. ONEShield holding that off beautifully well. They are both on 2 bases. They both look like they are, yep, fully saturated. So, man, it is anybody's game at this point, but look at this. ONEShield going to be taking his third. Very good play there. He also has siege tanks done as well, and siege mode is done. Adding on, it looks like a couple more barracks as well, and going for tech labs. So he's going to be going for siege tanks and marines and a lot of marauders, as you can see by the amount of tech labbed barracks that he has. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks with tech labs and 1 barracks for marines. So lots of marauders going to be built, and he does also have that reactored starport. That's going to come in huge. And look at the supplies, 81 versus 122, and that's really going to be pretty brutal. And you can see here, because of his SCV transfer, that he already has his third fully saturated, and that's what you want to do. That's why you overproduce workers, so you can just instantly have a fully saturated base and just get way ahead in the income department. And oh no, this pylon that's been so good throughout the game is going to go down, and the probe as well. So those marauders getting a bit of payback, and they are going to go ahead. And now he's going to be stemming a marauder and running in. Just wants to see what's going on, and he's going to find out that there are some zealots running in. And a immortal, which is going to just destroy him because he'd already stemmed twice, and immortals do a bajillion damage. Yeah, 55 versus armored. So that's unfortunate. Boom! Did you see his health just plummet? Holy crap, man! Immortals are so good, and they only take 10 damage versus marauders. So even better. Scouting with marauders, though, that's an interesting thing. And oh, look at this! This is so cool. He's patrolling his marauder back and forth between these two expansions, so he will know exactly when LiquidTyler expands, if he decides to expand anywhere but here. So here comes the push. We have medevacs, we have tanks, we have marauders, and a couple of marines just to add flavor to the salad. And we are going to have to see if, in fact, look at this, bunkers being already pre-placed down there. So we're going to have to see if Tyler can hold this off. He does have quite a bit of supply. It's 124 supply versus 167, though, so I don't know. And these siege tanks are sieged, and he's going to be moving up slowly now. And here come the bunkers, so he's going to go for a very slow and methodical push. You can see, oh, charge is done on the zealots, and that's going to help a lot. And here comes the micro from the marines, and these tanks are going to be damaged, but also doing a lot of damage to his own units. And here come the immortals, and they're going to come in and just target down the tanks. All the tanks are gone, and oh my goodness, look at that. It looks like Tyler is actually doing an amazing amount of damage. Oh, but it looks like he will end up coming out ahead and going to be doing as much damage as he can to these immortals. Looks like one immortal going down. Holy crap, that second immortal was so close to going down. But he decides not to, and now he's going to load up all his guys because it looks like Tyler actually doesn't have any units that shoot air. And yeah, these sentries don't count because they don't do any damage. So it looks like, well, I'm actually really impressed that Tyler held that off. And now here comes the stem from the Marines, and this splash is actually going to do a lot of damage to the Marines. But it is going to soften up these zealots as well, dropping these units back up, and looks like he was able to kill a couple more immortals. Only one immortal left, and he doesn't have shields. And he does go down, excuse me there. And it looks like, look at the supplies though. It is now 87 supply versus 97. So ONEShield has lost his huge supply lead. Oh no, little missed rally there. And these zealots doing way more damage than I thought they should. Also, these bunkers were salvaged, so he has nothing really to fall back on. Oh no, and he's up in the main supply lines, or the unit producing structures rather, of ONEShield. And that's really the downfall of the Terran, is once you get in this little area right here, then all their units are really just like meh, because you can never really get a good group together. And so it looks like Tyler now is going to be reinforcing with straight up speed zealots and a couple of immortals. And look at this, a whole stream of more zealots and immortals going to be running down. And I don't know if ONEShield can actually hold this. It's really touch and go at this point. And look at this, looks like LiquidTyler is actually going to take the lead. And there's the GG. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that Tyler just won that. That was an amazing play.